on today's episode of What Is This Idiot Doing Now? Home Rancher. Yeah, forgot my own name for a minute there. We're gonna fix the Brocus. That's what I call it. 2012 Ford Focus, and it's a Brocus Focus. The Focus of Brocus, hocus pocus. I don't know. 2012 Ford Focus. It's got the 2.0 with the automatic DPS6 transmission. Now, for those of you that don't know, it's an automatic transmission, but it's also a manual transmission. It's got gears, it's got clutches, it's got a dual dry clutch system. And well, the little actuator doodads inside that do that stuff with the clutch and make it do stuff, they quit. I replaced actuators, it worked for a little bit, and then I pulled the actuator out to actually try to clean the forks and lube them, and little pieces of bearing and stuff fell out of the opening. So that tells me it's done. So we're going to get this thing up in the air on jack stands, supported so I can get the trans out. And we're going to start ripping stuff out of here and breaking stuff. And maybe I have to take a sawzall and cut the transmission out. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never worked on one of these before. And if you're watching this, you probably haven't either. So why not watch an idiot attempt to fix the same thing that you need to fix? And if I can fix it, you definitely can fix it. Trust me. Also, I have some big news coming to the channel, coming soon, in a matter of a few weeks. There is going to be a collaboration video with me and two other famous YouTubers that have their own channel. Not sure if y'all subscribe. If you check my comment section, my description, I'll figure out what I'm saying in a minute. You'll see that I usually leave links to other channels you should follow. And if you're familiar with the What the Rust channel, Richard and Christina Rust, we are coming together to do a collaboration south of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It's a 1965 Lincoln Continental that has been sitting for probably, I would say, at least 35 years, maybe more. There's trees growing up through it. I'll put a picture in right here. See that? Trees are growing up through it. It's got a 430 cubic inch MEL motor. If you don't know what an MEL motor is, it's Mercury, Edsel, and Lincoln. Kind of like an FE motor or an FT motor. Not exactly the same, but basically same principle. Very reliable engine. And they're known to run after sitting forever. Practically fairly easy. So we're going to get together and do that revival. Be looking forward to seeing that on the channel. And also, I will be guest on their channel. So we're going to both film two separate videos while doing one video and make a revival of the fittest. Let's just call it that. I don't know. So I'm gonna get this thing up in the air and start breaking stuff. What time is it? I need to get refueled. The heck with this water. Alright, so before I get it up on jack stands, got the hood up, I'm just doing some simple stuff. I'm taking the breather box, battery tray, which is a stupid box, which you got to unhook. Let me show you. So you got this battery tray here. You got to take your cables loose, take this out, and it slides off like that. And you got a bolt back here, and then you got a bolt here and a bolt here. Well, batteries and bolts don't usually work too well. And as you can see, the heads are rusted off and nothing's coming off. So I went to Hobo Freight and I got this set of Quinn bolt extractors, and we're going to tap them down on there and see if we can't get it broke loose. Alright, let's see if we can get this going here. Now, you don't want to beat on your extensions with a hammer, but I'm an idiot. So, just not beating it, just tapping it down on there. Hold some pressure on it. There we go. That thing bites on there good. I used to have a Matco set of these, and they were okay. These here seem like they're made a little better, honestly. Hobo Freight's really stepping up their game. See that hit of that there? Wasn't much left. We got it. See if I can get this back one out of here. Try to get all the debris, whatever you call it, away from around it. I don't know if there's going to be enough on this one. We'll give it a shot, though. I'll try anything once, sometimes twice. In the case of marriages, 3 times maybe, 4. I don't know. Got it. Staying on it, though, after you got it is the tricky part. And the reason you got to pull this battery tray is because the transmission mount is directly underneath of it. Why not? Let's put the most volatile acid that you could put underneath the hood of a car right on top of everything you need. Sounds like a good idea. Nope. Thanks, Ford. I recommend these Quinn tools, bolt extractors from Harbor Freight. I'll give you a part number or tool product number here in just a second. But I would be cutting this thing apart and buying a battery tray because you can see where it bites into it really good. These sockets. They got some nice teeth in there and it just grabs it really nice. I'm actually very impressed at this tool. Hey. Now, I don't have to go buy a new battery box. And for those of you wanting to know, here's the case that it came in. It's a Quinn 59855 9-piece 3/8 drive bolt extractor set. They have metric and they have standard. Check them out. All right, so now we got Dominic Toretto. I hope he don't beat me with a wrench. My name's Paul, but I'm not Paul Walker. I don't, no. You ain't gonna beat me with a wrench, are you? Okay. Maybe. You gonna beat me with a wrench and I'm helping you fix your car? Golly, you see this? He's a tough customer. But he's agreed to come out and help me. Fine with me. I like when my son comes out and helps. And he was even nice enough to bring me a cold snack. See? He knows what gets me fueled up. Refueled. All right. Let's get the intake off of this thing. Just get some more wiring we got out of the way. I'll bring you guys in a little closer here in a minute. We're going to pull the intake and everything off up top before I go getting underneath. That's bad on a guy's back, having it jacked up and trying to bend. It's, stuff. But we're going to get this stuff pulled away, and I'll bring y'all over here as we go and show you what's going on so you know what to do. Because like I said, I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. And I'm probably going to break everything. But, he said if I didn't do it, he's going to beat me with a wrench.
At this point, I lost audio. So I'm showing you guys where I took the intake off. And if you look right here, you can see you can actually get down here to the PCV, the starter. It makes things a lot easier. There's a bolt over here that's hard to get to, but with an extension and a 1/4-inch drive, you can get it out of there just fine. There's 5 bolts. Just get them out of there, take a magnet or something, and you can get them out without dropping them. I actually found the lower bolt where somebody had it off before, underneath the starter when I removed it. Kind of crazy. But getting that intake out of the way makes things easier so you can get to the starter. And they're a 14 millimeter socket. Deep well works fine. Don't do like I did and break the starter trying to get the daggum connection off the solenoid. Got some rubbing here where that intake was flopilizing because it wasn't bolted down properly. We'll address that and make sure we put the right bolts back in it the way they belong.
Well, got it up in the air on jack stands. Got the starter off. Wouldn't you know it, somebody put Loctite on the starter thread for the signal wire. And then, typical Ford fashion, you know, they don't know how to make lug nuts. They put these little stainless steel beauty covers on them, 2-piece lug nut, and they corrode, they swell up, you can't get a socket on them, and then they spin and break loose, and then you got this crap that you gotta fight and break off to get it down to the lug nut so you can get it off with 18 mil. And it's 175 degrees today. It is hot. So, yeah, I ain't got a shirt on. I'm getting ready to clean the pool and have some cold snacks to get refueled. And then I'll try again later when the sun goes down a little bit and cools off because it's just too hot. So, see you in the next one. Okay, so it's the next day, or the day after the next day, actually, because I had to work yesterday. When I got home, I had to cut the grass, pick up the yard. A couple other errands and things had to be ran. But we're going to go ahead and break the lower control arms, ball joints loose, and the steering knuckles. Get those out of the way. That way we can get these axles out. Now, I went ahead and soaked everything down last night, and I was able to get the lug nut 2-piece fall apart, crumble, frustrating mess off of the other wheels, and got the wheels off and out of the way, and I just slid them underneath for right now. It's a little windy today. Hopefully we get some good video without, you know, wind blowing and sounding like I'm in a tornado. And hopefully we'll have this thing here out in the next hour. So I'm going to grab some tools, and then we're going to pop ball joints and stuff loose and go from there. Well, wouldn't you know it, as my luck, my video didn't come out. It didn't record, or it didn't start or something. But these are your bolts and Torx head that goes in the lower control arm for the ball joint. Now, what I did, I just took the, I think it was 15 or 16 millimeter. Well, maybe it was 18. Yeah, 18. Sorry. I'm coming over being sick. Take my impact and zap this nut off. And then this stays in the sleeve of the lower control arm. Excuse me. And what I did, I just screwed that back on with some threads and just tapped it with a hammer and let it slide out. And then just took a pry bar and stuck behind the head of this, and out she came. That goes right in here. It's behind it. Let me go around to the side so you can see it a little better. But that's your control arm. What you do, you just stick your pry bar in to this hole and lay it across here. You can see where it rubbed right here. And I just stood on it and bounced, and it popped loose. Now, most of you guys up north, you might need a pickle fork. Those of you who don't know what a pickle fork is, ball joint separator. But I don't like doing that because I don't like tearing up these dust boots. These are not serviceable ball joints. They come with grease already installed, and you can get those little needles to inject in there that goes on your grease gun, but I don't like those because now you got a hole for water and dirt and bug poop or whatever else gets in there. So let me spin this over here and show you a little better here. Right here is where that bolt goes through. And you can take a pry bar or something to stick in here and spread this out a little bit to help you. And as far as the steering knuckle, you'll pop that dude right there off. Leave a couple threads on it. It'll be inside there, and you can see the marks right here. Focus, there you go. Focus on the focus. And what I do, I just put a little pressure on here with a pry bar and smack this with a hammer a couple times right here, and it'll come out without damaging any of this. And then just, of course, screw your hardware back on. That way you don't lose it, and you're good to go. So we got to crawl under here and take this loop off back here on the axle. I'm actually pointing at it, but you can't really see it. We're going to pull that loose. I got crown nuts still on here. I'm going to take a block of wood and whack that, and that should free it loose from the hub. And then we'll get it out of the hub, and then we're going to crawl under here after I got that brace off. I'm going to take a pry bar, and we're going to put a little pressure on the axle and then kind of snap it, and it'll pop right out. But before we do that, we got to drain the transmission, because if not, it's going to look like murder she wrote out here, and it's going to be all over my ugly driveway with grass growing through the cracks. I hate this house. I can't wait till we move out of here. Okay, so got my trusty drain pan. Now I'm going to show you where these are. Now this is your mount. This is the lower half of the transmission. This is the transmission controller. Your wiring. Now this wiring harness, you only need to undo the top one. The bottom one goes to all the components on the transmission. So you don't have to worry about unhooking all the sensors on there. They can stay connected. You just need to undo the top one and push it up out of your way. This is your drain plug. And right up here, focus, right up there, is your fill plug. Now you want the vehicle to be level when you fill it to the proper level. But being we got it jacked up like this will actually help it drain. And then once I pull the axles out, hopefully there won't be as much of a mess. And then I'll take an old sock or something like that, like I usually do, and push up in the axle opening to help protect the seal and also keep from having a mess all over my horrible driveway. So this is 8mm Torx. So we're going to pop that drain out, drain this thing down, and then I'm going to, you can see it better down here now, that's that loop for the axle. Now you're supposed to replace that. It's a one-time use item. So you can get that from your local parts store or Scamazon or wherever you shop for your parts. I got one from O'Reilly, and I'll pop it back in there and everything will be good. It's kind of like a carrier bearing, that's what that is. All right, let's get some work done. And of course, wouldn't you know it, because I'm an idiot, I drained it into the pan, and I went to crawl out from under here, and my big foot hit it, and well, yeah, so wouldn't be a good day if it wasn't a bad day, I guess. All right, well, let's get these axles out. So we're gonna come over here to the long side first. Now, I'll go ahead and take the crown nut off. And, you know, once again, I have a southern vehicle. Y'all guys up north, you might want to spray some Creole or PB Blaster or something up in there and let it soak overnight. You can take a block of wood, put your crown nut back on there and hit that. But I got my old trusty pry bar here that has that on the end. And I just take that crown nut and stick it back on there. And just, there it went. Now, most of you up north, y'all might run into a problem with that, and you're going to have that issue where it's going to be stuck. Don't get discouraged. You can put some PB Blaster in there, like I said, get you a block of wood or even a center punch and put it right into that indention there, and just knock the piss out of it. Just be careful not to booger up your threads. I'm going to figure out a way to set this phone up here, and I'm going to show you guys how we're going to get this out of here and why we disconnected those knuckles. All right, hopefully you guys can see there. All right, that is now out of there. So now we're going to go up in here. I'm going to go around the other side and take you guys with me. And I'm going to take that little pry bar I just showed you, and we're going to stick it back here on the back side of the axle where it goes into the trans. After we pull it out of that carrier, that strap we took out. And we're just going to give it a little persuasion, and it'll come right out. Y'all guys got to bear with me here because I don't have no special camera stuff. So I'm working off of what I got, and that's it. All right, that's broke loose from there. And we're going to get right here. Seen that? Don't go on this side of that. Stay right here in that. You can lay it up against the transmission housing and just give it a little pull. And we're bound up on something over here now. So you just gotta, all right, we got it unhooked from over off of the lower control arm where it was caught. And now it just slides right out of there. Now you can take it all the way out, or you can just let it kind of hang over here. As long as it's out of the way, you can tuck it back over here behind the cat. As long as it's out of the way, you're good. You don't have to completely remove it from the vehicle. Now, we're going to get this other side tapped out and then do the same thing right here. And the axles will be out, and then we can start putting a support brace under the engine block here, because the engine mounts are also the trans mounts. And once we start taking these mounts off here, and the one up there that was underneath the battery tray I told you guys about, this thing's going to want to drop. And we don't want that. We don't want to tear up the other motor mount. So we're going to take a block of wood and a scissor jack or something and bracealize it right through here somewhere. All right, so this side over here is giving me a little bit of trouble. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull my crown nut back off of there. And I got my good old Creole here. This stuff is amazing. I'll put a link down in the description. You got to check this stuff out. I was a PB Blaster fan for years, and Richard on the What the Rush channel has been using this stuff, and I'm hooked. It's great. I'm going to spray some up in there. And we're going to run our nut back on. And then I'm going to put my zippity zap machine back on there, and I'm going to run it down and back and forth a few times here. Alrighty, got that on there. Also help clean those threads up a little bit. As you see, there's some rust coming off of them there. We'll run it down on there. Make sure it's smooth. See how nice and smooth that is now? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a block of wood and I'm going to whack this right here, and it should jar it loose. And if that don't work, we're going to get a punch and slam it right there a couple times with a hammer. I'll be right back because I can't swing a hammer and hold something and hold the camera. Show you guys another way you can do this too. You take your axle socket, put it back on, thread it down. There it went. Don't take a whole lot. And we should be free. Yep. All right, let's get her out. All right, so out she came. There she is right here off to the side. And we're going to put this pry bar up in here like I showed you guys earlier. and just might need to rotate it a little bit. I want to get underneath and do that. I can't do two both at the same time. All right, so we got the axles out. We drained it. While I was underneath, I went ahead and cracked the bolts loose that go around. Let me show you. Yep, so there's a ground wire that goes on this stud right back here. All right, it's one of these deals. 13 millimeter, take the nut off, pull the ground wire off, break that loose, take it out. You got some that go opposite directions all the way around the flange of the bell housing and the block. Now back here, by your catalytic converter, that bolt right there, I don't have nothing to point with it, but it's literally that one right there. You cannot get it completely out without dropping the exhaust, but you can get it out just enough to get the transmission out and just leave it hanging there. You don't have to remove it all the way. It'll slide out, the threads will break loose, you'll be free, and you can drop the trans down. So I'm told. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to get up top, I'm going to get a 13 millimeter, go through the starter hole, and I'm going to take 6, I almost said torque converter bolts, clutch bolts off the flywheel. By doing that, I'm going to take one at a time out, and I'm going to turn the crank of the engine over clockwise, I think, yeah, clockwise, and pull each one of them out until I come back to the stud that I know is empty, just in case. Never know. I could be dumb, and it could be 7, or it could be 8, it could be 14. I don't know. I'm going by what other people tell me. I've never done it before. So let's find out. Okay, so I stand corrected. There's only 4 bolts. I was told 6. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't certain. Had to look for myself. 4 bolts. They're 13 millimeter. I'll show you how to access. Right through that starter hole there. See that stud? 13 millimeter. Use an open end wrench, boxed end wrench. Take you a screwdriver and stick it right on the teeth of the flywheel there. Focus, damn thing. Let me zoom this back out. All right. Stick your screwdriver in here, just like so, on the teeth, and just push down. And then pull up on your wrench. It's not that tight. It don't take a whole lot of pressure. If you're by yourself, you can do it that way, and then go back and forth and manually spin the engine over with a socket and a ratchet right behind this cover there. I just grabbed a 13/16 socket. I know it's metric, but guess what? It fit. I wasn't breaking a bolt loose. I'm just turning the engine over. So 13/16 will work in a pinch. Okay, all the bolts except for this one is out. It's loose. I went ahead and pulled the trans mount bolt out back here. Pull that out. That'll let that slide out of here. If I have to take the rest loose, I don't know yet. I'll see when I get there. Some people say you do, some people say you don't. Wiring harness is unplugged. Like I said, leave the lower one in the transmission control module because it goes to your actuators and stuff. No sense of getting that out of the way. It'll come out with it. Right now I'm going to make a support system, like I said earlier, to put on the bottom of the engine block on the pan here. I got a little scissor jack. I'm going to slide this tire over here and give me a block of wood, set on the wheel, and just all I got to do is just have a little pressurized on there to keep it from floppalizing there. And then we can go ahead and take the upper mounts up there loose, which get done from the top. Go ahead and give it a once over, make sure nothing is connected that can get ripped or broke, and see if I can't wrestle this thing out of here. I've heard that it's heavy, and then I've heard that it's not heavy, so I don't know. I guess I'll figure that out when it falls on my face. So I decided against the tire and wheel, and I just got me a cinder block and a paver block and this old scissor jack here, and it's good and sturdy right there. I got enough tension off of it. I'm gonna back this bolt right here out and see what we get. So Mama Bunny decided to bring me some PBRs. I got this thing almost ready to fall on my face. And I'm running out of gas. It's time to get refueled. Whew. Now I got to drink all these I can. Because see, it's patriotic for one, red, white, and blue. And here in a couple weeks, when I'm down south with Richard and Christina on the What the Rush channel, I can't drink no PB blasters. So I got to get it in my system. That way I have it there. That way, if I need it, I can open up my reserve tank. There's a little switch over here, and I can flip it over to my reserve tank, and I can get refueled. No. It's going to be hard not being able to have a couple PB blasters out there. I don't know. I don't think Richard and Christina drink PB blasters or Busch lattes or nothing. I don't know. I got to find out. And I don't want to come to their channel and, create anything or cause any problems or be rude or disrespectful. I wouldn't want nobody coming over to my channel and running around naked, smearing wheel bearing grease on their butthole and singing the Star Spangled Banner, which it would be kind of funny to watch. But I don't think I'd want that over here because this is a family channel. And there's nothing wrong with a fella having a cold beer, especially when he needs to get refueled to get some more work done. Oh, it's been a while since I've had a PB blaster. I've been drinking them Mickey Loeb Ultras. And they're good, but they just don't have the flavor of a good old PB blaster. See, I got gout. And I have flare-ups from time to time. And that's really not good climbing in and out of that semi-truck or climbing all over the ground or rolling around in your driveway because you ain't got a garage or a lift and you're broke. And you just try to do what you can with what you got. And keep the wife happy so she don't run off and leave you for the neighbor. So, I do believe I got just about everything underneath that I need done. I'm doing a once over and checking, make sure all my wiring, shifter cable connections, anything's out of the way. And anything that I think I need to move, I'm getting out of the way. And that back mount that I showed you guys on the transmission, I'm going ahead and getting it out of the way. That way I have more room to rotate because the back end kind of rotatalizes next to the control arm and the K-member. And I want to let it rotate a little bit. That's why I put that jack on that side of the oil pan. That way when I let it down, it'll let it roll. So I'm going to finish getting refueled. And then we're going to try to drop this thing on my face, like I said. We should have it out here in the next couple minutes. So we'll be back in a few minutes and I'll show you guys the progress. Hopefully I don't have an ice pack and bandages on my head, but I probably will. Yep. No, not yet. Refueled. Well, as you see, DPS6 dual clutch transmission is out on the ground. My face ain't busted. No bruises, no cuts, and I'm clean. I've washed my hands, but yeah. I want to repeat that I was wrong. If I'm wrong, I will tell you guys. The clutch to flywheel bolts, I said there was 6 in the beginning. I said I turned it over, I looked, I only found 4. Well, when you're by yourself trying to turn something over and look, compression strokes, it jerks a little more and turns a little faster. So I missed 2. But I went over and checked that before I tried getting it out. Found them, pulled them out, took the last bolt out of the trans, took my floor jack, stuck over that side. There's a flat spot. Jacked it up, let it pull away from the block, took my pry bar and pushed it away and pulled the jack, laid down on the ground, held the transmission from the front like this, let the jack down and kept pressure rotated forward on it and set it right down, slid it right off the jack, and there she sits. Now, I thought I was going to get lucky like some guys and be able to get this clutch out of here without the kit. There's a tool that they make. Well, somebody has been in this one before, and they've kind of boogered up the shoulder of the snout. So it's not going to work. I'm going to need the tool. So I got to order the tool, get that pressed off. I did get the snap rings off. I got the outer cog off. I'll show you that. And I'll show you, yeah, this is an automatic transmission. However, it's got a clutch. So here's the outer snap ring that goes inside the clutch that holds this in. And then you got this one, which is what actually holds the clutch disc itself in. And as you see here, that's all out. But somebody's been in there and it's slightly boogered, and you can see where somebody's took a file to it. I'd say this was a Ford update because it's got the brown seals in it. However, I don't think they replaced the clutch actuator forks when they did it. I think they just did the revision. There's no stickers on this anywhere that it was revised either, but it has been into. I replaced one actuator motor, thinking that was the problem at first. It's easier to throw a cheap part at something and diagnose it than it is to just give up on it. So I'm going to order the clutch kit, clutch removal kit. I ordered a clutch kit for it, but wouldn't you know, when you order something off of Scamazon, you never know what you're going to get. Now, this listing showed the complete luck rep set for this car. The dual clutch drum, both shift fork actuators, or not the actuators, but the forks. All the necessary hardware is supposed to be replaced. The whole kit to do it the right way. Seals, everything. And it was $609. Okay, that's a good deal. A lot of places are going for $7 or more. So, without looking at the reviews, old beer brain clicked on it and ordered it. And guess what I got? I got just the drum. Chinese, remanufactured, not even luck. It's not good. Nothing else came. So now I'm fighting with Scamazon, trying to get my stuff, my money back and return it. And here's the weirdest part about it. I didn't realize the name of the seller on Amazon, Trolling Man. I guess he trolled me. So I'm going to go down to O'Reilly's, do the right thing. What I should have done the first time. I get a better deal anyways. I just found out. I got hold of my buddy David, and through my home renter account, I can get this clutch for like $550 with everything. And I don't have to pay for the rental tool because I just bring it home, use it, and take it back. So that's what I should have done to begin with. But no, I was trying to do this for you guys so you could do it the same exact way, because not all of you have commercial accounts with O'Reilly's. You're going to pay a little more for the clutch. But do the right thing and get the good kit. Don't buy the junk. Don't buy the cheapest one you can find. Because if you're going to do all this work, you don't want to do it more than once. You want to do it once and be done with it. You don't want to take it apart 17 times and try to fix problems that you wouldn't have had if you'd have just bought the good kit. Never skimp on parts, guys. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You can get some good things on eBay and Amazon sometimes. Name brand, Holley stuff, MSD stuff. But make sure you check into what you're buying and it's not some knockoff that somebody's trying to say is the name brand. Or make sure it's not something that somebody got out of a trash can behind the place because it was thrown away because it was bad. It was a blemish. Or something's not right in the bearings and they discarded it. And these people run around in these damn warehouse and factory facilities, and they dig this stuff out of the trash and sell it as new. Ask me how I know. Yep, I've done it. I mean, I didn't do it, but I mean, I've bought stuff that way. I'd never dig in a dumpster. That's where I got that lawnmower. And these shorts. These are G-Unit shorts. Yeah. 50 cent, what's up, buddy? Thank you. I like these shorts. They fit me good. I'm about out of fuel again. So I'm going to get refueled. I'm going to pick up this mess. I'm going to go get the stuff I need, and it may be a day or two before I get the parts. So I'm going to give you guys this video today, and be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Every comment in the next 3 videos is going to be entered in a new Super Clean giveaway. Okay? So I'm going to take a random drawing on July 31st, and I'm going to pick somebody's name, maybe 2 names. I might pick one for the Super Clean giveaway, and I might have another set up for my own giveaway. I will send you a shirt, an autographed shirt, or a hat, or a pair of my dog's underwear. Right? He don't wear underwear. I don't even know what to say. I'm hot, I'm tired, I'm aggravated, and I'm running out of fuel. Be sure to stay tuned to the channel here in a couple weeks. And also go subscribe and like Richard and Christina over at What the Rust channel. I can't even talk. What the Rust? ? They're a good channel here on YouTube. Husband and wife team. They go around and do revivals and will it runs on old vehicles. They got project cars that they work on. And they got a really cool car. It's Christina's car, Lula. You got to go check that out. They're just the most wholesome, wholehearted, amazing people you've ever met. And I get to work with them here in the next couple weeks with my family. Mama Bunny's going to be there. Dominic's going to be there. AJ's going to be there. And Christoph is going to be there. And they're probably going to go meander around and look at the cool cars out at this salvage yard. And me and Richard will be trying to get that Lincoln running. We're not going to try. We're going to do it. We're going to really get that Lincoln running. And I mean, if we can get the trees cut out from around it, maybe we might try to drive it out from back there. Let's see what happens. We don't know until we get there and survey the situation and start digging into it. It might be seized. It might be locked up. I doubt it. Them 430s are pretty tough motors. So stay tuned for that. Go on over there to Richard and Christina's channel, What the Rust, and give them a subscribe and check out their videos. And be sure to check out Wisty Dents and Classic Car Revivals, Treetop Garage, Tanner Rebuilds, all those guys. Go support these other people. They need subscribers. It's good content. It's free. It don't cost you nothing to subscribe to any of our channels. And, you know, I have a couple different tiers of memberships that y'all guys can join and get videos like this and upcoming videos early before anybody else, and get discounts on merchandise and other cool stuff. Maybe see me at Ford Fest and sit down and have a PBR with me. Never know. Or maybe next year on Power Tour, if I get the Lincoln together the way I want it, we'll be on Power Tour, and maybe we can have a thing where one of you guys can ride with us. Spend a week with Home Renter and the family. It's up to you. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go get some parts and get some tools. And I think I'm hungry. So on that note, I'm going to leave you guys with this. Revealed. God bless, guys. Love you.